What's going on? It's Joe Begley. I just spent 3 hours trying to figure out how to reformat an SD card. You would think that I would be smart enough to do that, but I absolutely do not know what I'm doing. Today I'm going to be taking your questions off YouTube. The other day I posted something saying I wanted to answer whatever you guys had to ask me, and I'm going to follow through on that. So here we go. Question number one. How people reacted when you started doing stand-up comedy. All right, this one's an easy one. They didn't. Nobody knew that I started stand-up when I started because I wanted to keep it as much of a secret as possible. To be honest, I was kind of embarrassed that I was doing it. I didn't want people to know that I was trying it because I kind of thought that this was not going to work out at all. Who knows? It still might not, but when I started, I thought the odds of me pulling this thing off were so slim that I didn't want anybody to find out. And the truth was, the first few times I got up there, I ate it pretty bad. I did not do good at the beginning. I started comedy at a place called Tavern at the End of the World in Boston, Massachusetts. So on the night that I started stand-up, the Boston Red Sox were playing, and on one side you have the dining room, on the other side you have the bar. And so we're doing stand-up in the dining room, okay? And so what happens is people are eating dinner, people are hanging out, people are having a really good time, and then all of a sudden you see this guy walk in and start setting up the mics and the mic stand and the stool and everything, and everybody's kind of like, okay, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, the audio for the Red Sox game cuts out, and people are sort of like, what's going on, dude? You know, why'd they turn off the Sox game? What the hell is this? Then all of a sudden, they start going, okay, guys, we have stand-up comedy for you tonight. It's going to be a really good time. And they're like, fuck you, turn the fucking game back on, dude. And you're sitting there, and you're like nervous. This is the first time you've ever touched a microphone. So they call my name. They're like, your next comic is Joe Begley. And I basically... I did so bad that night that I didn't do it again for quite a while. And then when I finally got into it, it took me a few tries to get, decent enough at it. And I would say about 6 months into doing it, I told my friends what was going on. But until then, it was a big secret, and for good reason. Okay, question number 2. All right, favorite and least favorite gig you've done. This is kind of a tough one because when it comes to least favorite gigs, there's just been so many bad ones. There's different categories of bad gigs. There's ones that you voluntarily subject yourself to. Like those would be the open mics that you go to where it's a bar and you're performing for 3 people. And, there's somebody... One of your audience members is sleeping on the table. There's another audience member who's just on his phone, and somebody else is shooting pool in the back. Those you do all the time, but you choose to do those because you just have some things that you want to say. You have some things that you want to get out there, so you go there and you practice. And it may not go according to plan, but at the end of the day, you wanted to do it, so it doesn't feel that bad. There's another category of gigs, which is ones that are just... gigs that other comics put you on and they just don't book it properly. I've seen that happen so many times where you show up and you're excited and you're ready to roll and you have the expectation that you're going there for something really good and you're going there to get paid, and you get there and there's no money and there's nobody there and you don't even get a free drink ticket. Favorite gig you've ever done? So there's been a lot of great gigs, a lot of bar gigs that I've done that, just you're not expecting much. You walk in the door and there's 80 people packed in and you just throw it down and destroy. That's one of the best feelings in the world. It's really hard to beat. Other feelings, there was a night about 2 years ago where I would say the comedy dream sort of got pushed in the right direction. So there was a comic that's come into town, a comedian named Doug Stanhope. And I reached out to Doug, and when I reached out to him, what I was expecting was just like, hey, thanks for reaching out, hope to see you at the show. And he actually invited me to perform on the show. And this was one of the craziest things that's ever happened because this is a guy that I've idolized. If you don't know who Doug Stanhope is, he's worth looking up. He's incredible. So I get there, and I'm just the guy that's been doing stand-up for 2 years, and I walk out, and I'm doing 20 minutes in front of 450 people.
She hooks it up. Guys, the thing is, I've been drinking so much lately that I realize I need to class it out when I go up in public. So lately I've been drinking martinis.
It was truly one of the most mind-blowing experiences of my life. Number one, because I got to work with my hero.
Guys, I love this guy. He's one of the funniest people on planet Earth. You know him from all of his specials, all of his albums. Please give it up for Mr. Doug Stanhope.
And number 2, it sort of set the road for what was going to happen after that because the club that I did that show at ended up really liking me, and I ended up getting to do with gigs with a lot of other people who I looked up to and a lot of people who are really great comics because of that experience. So Doug, shout out to Doug for really pushing this thing in the right direction. That was unbelievable. And man, I don't know. Without that night, without Doug hooking me up like that, who knows where this would have gone. So yeah, that was incredible. Almost forgot. One last thing. This week, we actually have a mail time portion. Yeah, like Casey and I said, dude, I got something in the mail. Woo! I don't know what these could be, but I think I've got an idea. Oh my God, dude. Look at these boats. Let's go. We gotta, in honor of the boys that just hooked it up, we gotta represent our people. I'm on the team, baby.
The hoodie's sick. Moment hooked it up.